Well, hello there, I'm Dane, and welcome to the first presentation of Tea for Two. I have here one of my favorite teas. It's a very tasty blend of a choice organic tea called Russian Caravan. It's a black tea with overtones of smoked pine. And I found that I really like the overtones of flavor that come from adding a bit of almond milk. I put about a quarter of almond milk in this and cools it down instantly from my electric kettle. And then I usually leave the tea bag in because it just gets richer and richer and a little bit more bitter as time goes on. And I like the range of the sweetness to the bitter. Delicious. I thought where we could start in this edition is from one of the possible forewords to the book I'm working on, Conscious Chemistry. And it's an idea that when it struck me, I got excited about. And it's called The Origin of Chemistry. I'll read a little bit about it and then pause and chat. You are the other person in the Tea for Two, and thank you for joining me. Also, why don't we just step back and look at the mission statement of what I'm about on this site, because my wish and the blessing that I want to extend to you is that this site and your time here with me supports you in growing, developing excellent, conscious, win-win relationships. And that's the essence of the mission statement that I've developed for this project. And for me, win-win is incredibly broad. Anything that two people feel value around and can consciously create and accept together is a conscious win-win relationship. Now, what I believe is, because it's at our core to grow and become more, is that whatever win-win is in this moment and whatever is freely chosen and able to be created in this moment can naturally and will naturally grow with time, skill, practice. So this is what this is about, bring a little bit of awareness to accelerate that process. So back to the origin of chemistry. Chemistry has at its roots, I'll start again. Chemistry has its roots in what may seem a strange location, particularly for someone who considers themselves to be agnostic or atheist. Throughout Earth's history, expressed in each of the roughly 10,000 languages, cultures, and belief systems in recorded history, chemistry between cultures and individuals has been created and destroyed by the nature of what we value and the way that we worship those chosen values in the form of our definition of God. Not necessarily God as we currently define God, with or without gender, plural or non-plural, but God is defined by what we truly worship, bow down to, and serve every day of our lives. And to me, this is an exciting idea, that God is not necessarily what we label as God or what other people label as God. God is what we bow down to and worship every day of our lives, in every moment, everything that we do. And it's not some esoteric concept. It's not something nebulous. It's what's leading you to invest your time and energy in this moment. There's a God that you worship. And what is God? God is simply a human fabrication of what we idealize. That's not to say that there isn't something much more, but what we understand as God is what we aspire to, something that we label as who we are becoming and dedicate ourselves to being. And in many ways, and it's kind of ironic, particularly in Christian mythology where greed and power and all of that are considered somehow evil or dark, that is what we worship. We worship a sense of mastery, a sense of power, a sense of knowing. God is all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful, all-doing, beyond time, beyond space. Those were some of the definitions for Christian mythology and God in the last 2,000 years. And what have we become as a culture? We've become all-seeing. Video cameras in and out of outer space, inner space, our homes, etc. We've become all-knowing with the information age and all that's put out there. We've become all-powerful. We're able to do things with technology, with our minds, with our bodies that 2,000 years ago would have seemed incredibly godlike. And so, having decided that knowledge and power and wisdom and seeing and comprehension, that was a huge part of our definition of God, we have become that. We have served those deities. We have toiled. We have invested countless hours of undivided attention in corporations, as individuals, as inventors, as consumers. We have served those gods, and we have moved closer to those worlds. And what occurs to me is what creates flow and what creates friction is when two people or two groups of people serve the same God, when they serve the same values. Corporations often come together, thousands or in some cases tens of thousands of people, all dedicated to several values, making money for the corporations. The value of integrity and agreements, the value of providing some service, and it may be the value of power or whatever else it is. But when people come together in service for common values, amazing things are possible. And it doesn't matter whether that is the value of erasing poverty, the value of every person feeling seen and loved on this earth, the value of making trillions of dollars, or the value of revenge. The power lies in coming together and aligning on a shared purpose. And regardless of what we judge as good or bad, what we do, every moment of our lives, does serve the gods that we honor, that we place in a special place, and then make sacred by dedicating each moment of our life to. For many of us, a primary God is fear or pain, because so much of our lives are dedicated to avoiding fear, to escaping pain, to anything at all costs to avoid fear and pain. And in this way, fear and pain become our deities. They become our masters. They shape who we are becoming. Chemistry is a dance between people, between groups, between organizations, and everything that we do, in its way, honors the values that we hold dear. what are some of the things that you value in this day, both dark and light? What are the shadow gods that you work to avoid? What are the gods that you aspire to, that you work to move closer to? This is what creates our lives. Within the framework of choices and limitations that we have, this is what sets our course, our direction. Cheers. Within many of the Hindu and other ancient religions, God was not a singular presence, not an old man in the sky, but a series of levels of different deities. There were lower gods and middle gods and higher gods and gods above that. And in life, this is also the case. We have deities, for example, of love, where we aspire to love. But we don't just directly serve love. We serve gods that we believe will take us to love. We serve love by the goal of being more organized and focused, of being more successful. In order to be more successful, we serve other lower gods of efficiency, of productivity, of knowledge. And in order to do that, we seek and serve other gods, perhaps manipulation, perhaps alertness and awareness, perhaps courage that helps us get up and pursue something. There's a chain reaction where our ultimate God of perhaps loving connection or being accepted is supported by lower gods. And we serve them all, from getting up out of the bed in the morning to brushing our teeth. So I like that thought. It's kind of comprehensive in terms of recognizing that everything we do is a prayer. I serve the God of both being of service, of greater awareness, of being liked, of play, of fun. These are gods that I serve in this moment. And you serve gods of your own in watching this and in everything you'll be doing for the rest of the day. I like that because I'm reminded of a saying that demons are only unrecognized gods. They're gods in disguise. There's another awareness that sneezing brings in new energy. It's often not recognized as a blessing, but it is in its way honored as such with God bless you when you sneeze. And it's about the awareness that involuntary reflexes and energies coming through are in its way a blessing. We simply have to know how to recognize them, how to open up and experience them. So with that, I give my blessing to you, a namaste. May you have a very beautiful day, and I hope you'll join me again for another Tea for Two.